Okay, so my stream crashed. That's cute. If it crashes again, if my stream crashes again, it's going to be a very bad day. Basically, Mr. Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have, however. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great, well, now what? So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this, but the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve, that's what. It looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to our next witness. That's enough! From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And for what she had says, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes. That is exactly... Ah! Be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? Who was it? The prosecution calls Miss Eenie Meenie, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eenie Meenie? I think you can see where this is headed. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is like Eenie Meenie. I'm like researching like parapsychology stuff at the university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see. It's like I guess most people call it occult stuff. Oh. Yeah, that's what most people call it. I can't say I understand what that means. And I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Miss Meenie. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well, like I guess if that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine, for my sake. Like, when the channeling started, I was like sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. I, like, hadn't seen her, like, so long. I was happy, in, like, a sad way. My sister, she, like, told me something, like, totally terrible. Now, hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Well, don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister? Yes, Mimi Meenie. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, well, this is... Witness. Like, yeah. In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course, Miss Meenie, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Eenie? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yes, fair. Are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. In the end, what do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now. Was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolishly fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Why is there no voice? What happened? Did you get headshotted? No. No, I'm a little distracted at the moment. Okay, listen. Edible? No! 1, 2, 3. You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react here with surprise as seeing a dead loved one live again? But like, maybe if I was, like, someone who didn't know about, like, the occult, but I, like, know all about the Korean channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? Nope, question it. So you really didn't think anything strange at the whole encounter? No, like, there wasn't any reason for me to think anything was strange. But, ow! Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important? It is very important. It is very important, although I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. But I've got the bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright, Miss Meany, please amend your testimony. Like, okay, I'm like totally cool with that. I wasn't like scared at all. I like her costume looked totally like normal. Excuse me! Objection! Excuse me, but her costume was covered in blood! That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Amy. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Miss Meany, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. But, like, yeah, but I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sisters you met. I would think even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Miss Meany, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Order! Order! Miss Meany, what is the meaning of this? Miss Meany? I'm thinking. Don't interrupt me. And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? Well, that witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry, I, didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony, if you please. Ugh, the judge still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be. Like, the side room was, like, kind of dark, you know? So, like, the costume is, like, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, like, persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something like that. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Yes, now I see. And you have given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Like, thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? Alright, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness.
Hold it!
And what was your sister, Miss Mimi like at the time? Well, she was like totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think like she knew. She like said she did something really bad. And like she said she wanted to go with me to like apologize to Miss Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. And then like I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe like taking her revenge on Dr. Gray like made her feel a lot better. I like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix, right? The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Miss Meanie? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place? Huh? Like, what do you mean? When do you mean? When you... Talk about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Press harder. Think harder! I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important? It's very important. I ask because it is very important. Not that I know where I'm going with this. Very well. Miss Meanie, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. Like, I don't get why, but okay. I, like, didn't see anyone on the way to, like, the channeling chamber. You should have seen Pearls. Oh, wrong button! Wrong button! I finally found the fault, or I guess in your case, the crack in your perfect lie. Take a look at this urn. Like, urn? There are cracks. Do you see them? So? Like, what does that prove? Who cares about some worn-out old urn? Like, yeah. I already, like, said I didn't see, like, anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. I didn't, like, totally say anything about, like, an urn, did I? It looks like you still don't understand. I propose that if you had really been walking along the winding way at that time, there's no way you could not have seen this person!
Take that!
I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Yes, and how is this child relevant? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Oh, and she just happened to break this urn. Oh! Oh! Wait, she broke the urn? Yep, she accidentally knocked it over with her ball. And Pearl was the one who put it back together. While sitting right in the middle of the winding way. What?! Miss Meanie. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work, putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind! I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Meanie. You are a masterful liar! Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Meanie, tell us the truth! About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course! The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was like sleeping in the side room. Did I really believe her? Was she really sleeping in the side room? There's no way! Your lies end here! What do you want? The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room, and I say that's not possible, because there is clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this contradiction? Earlier in your testimony, Miss Meanie, you made the following statement. And like Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. So, like, what does that, like, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Miss Meanie, how did you know that much? How? I could see that Miss Faye was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Meanie, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. Ah! But look at the minor guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor, which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Miss Meanie, please answer the question. Don't ask the question off of the basis of assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you put it out on the table, Mr. Phoenix, right? You might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah! The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Meanie, so now is the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place?
Take that!
Miss Meanie was here, of course. What? But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Miss Meanie was at the scene of the crime. Order! 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 That's why that is... Ugh! Mr. Phoenix, right. Have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber where the channeling started. Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Miss Eenie Meanie was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Boy, the court. Hello, adventurer, and welcome to the live stream. Where? Like, where was I hiding?
Take that!
Here, of course, but behind the folding screen? Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See, you stupid jerk? Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball. And now, Miss Meanie, one so young as you heard me saying, shut it, Gramps, as if you know exactly how old I am. I'm sorry. Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this.
Take that!
Miss Meanie, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Ah! That tiny little box? No person can fit in that. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproven. A lot of this proof that where she was hiding from me in it. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Tracy, that's nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right, I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. Mr. Wright, do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? Yes, I can, with some evidence. And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
Take that!
Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid, as if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing. This, what on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole about 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. Open your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Meanie, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Order! Order! So what are you saying? Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Edie Meanie? That is exactly what I am saying. Funny that it repeats the idea of her previous case of the murder of Miles' dad. Miss Edie Meanie, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade as Maya Fey? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No, stop! But there was a hole in the elevator. Yeah, true! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It's not possible for one person to do all that by herself. It really is impossible for one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow! Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. But wait, Miss Valkarma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? What? You can't be serious. Miss Meanie, you had an accomplice. This person. If it wasn't someone from Crane Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fae household, you wouldn't have had that box to use. More than Fae. Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Meanie? You shot Dr. Gray with your own two hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker, and that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and... After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room. Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Meanie, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Miss Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Who is that laughing at a time like this? Ah! Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry. Are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Miss Von Karma, surely. Of course it wasn't me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. And that is, if this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium pretending to be one putting on this whole act? What reason would she have to do such foolish things? Well, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eeny Meeny want to kill Dr. Gray? Where's her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. Motive. I can't say she has no motive here. I don't think of a motive now. What is the reason for wanting Dr. Gray dead? The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this.
Take that!
Ha! Just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix Wright. Just great. Now even she is calling me by my full name. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Yes! Because through that accident you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm, going to explain, so, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, wanted revenge, then, I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was, Dr. Gray. It was, a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? She's back to her airhead persona! However, you see... Ouch! Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix, right? You failed to support your own theory. The end. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix, right? What Miss Meany has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, but she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Mrs. Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan. You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix, right? You should really learn your place. What happened? I thought I had her for sure. Hee. See, just as I told you. I hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well. I now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eeny Meeny. Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute. Alright, you can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia! Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder, but you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. But really... Listen, Phoenix, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Meany had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason? Can I? Can I really do this? I am not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Meany had a motive. Too bad. Oh, excuse me. You're too late. My cross-examination has already ended after all. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix, right? What? You're supposed to be on my side. Aye! Avant Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix, right? And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way! Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a second here! June 22nd, 12:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Eeny could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. Now, under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your Aunt Morgan. That's terrible. Why? Why would my aunt? Everything is going just as predicted, Mr. Phoenix, right? Miss Von Karma! Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Looking down on me, even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Not yet. My goal is to defeat you. Let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to a conclusion, and then we'll know who the real winner is. June 22nd, 12:10 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Court will now reconvene, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Can you prove Miss Meanie had a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Meanie and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection, and that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Miss Meanie, please testify to this court about your car accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Miss Meanie, if you please. Okay. I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... Last year's accident. That was, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, my sister's clinic around then. And, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, there was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows, day after day, last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging his sister? Ugh! Those were merely rumors, totally baseless gossip. Yes. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Right now, it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did in fact drug Miss Meanie's sister. Yeah, which means I'll have to work this from another angle. Totally tired? You mean exhausted? She had to talk to the police and, was being investigated, every day. It was, a totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened, huh? So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? What are you talking about? I meant switch drivers. Your sister was so tired, and you should have switched with her. True. But, I don't, have a driver's license. This is news to me. I was not aware you didn't have your license, Miss Meanie. Okay, anyway. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up for opened the door. I, don't have my license, so, I couldn't take over driving for her.
Objection!
Wrong! Miss Meanie, that was a lame lie just now. What do you mean? I know you had a license back then. This is the photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Meanie? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hawdy, or the guy presenting to be him anyway, said so. What are you talking about, that perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Last November. What? November? The accident happened last May. As a half-year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. At the time of the accident, Miss Meanie did not have a driver's license. Ugh. Ow! Cry, and my whip will accommodate. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, glad you get it, but... even if I had my license, I, don't think my sis would have, let me drive. Yow! Don't just stand there, to yourself. Not you too, Mia. With the whip, and the pain, and the ow! Ask Eni about the car model. Miss Meanie, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... I think the situation calls for more detailed testimony, Miss Meanie, if you please. How annoying. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to be mean. Take me a sip of water here. Around that time, I was, really close to getting my license. My sis was, this totally big fan of cars and, really valued them. she, had just gotten this really shiny bright red sports car. She, would say things like, "No way am I letting a noob drive my car." So, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about cars, but... It was a new car? Yeah, she had, just gotten it. It was, from the UK. The UK? Were those her friend's initials? It was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive. I guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor, yes, please have the witness append what she just said to our testimony. You mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes. Well, if you like cars that much, then... That's not my point. Though, to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Miss Meanie, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. My sister's new car was a totally special model from England. But he opened the right door and got out. Ah, right there! Right there! If she got out of the right door, she was in the driver's seat. If it was a car from England, she was in the driver's seat.
Objection!
Miss Meanie, do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it, but I opened the right door and got out. That's correct, isn't it? Why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat, the left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side. That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite? The two of them are riding in a British car! In that case, the passenger side would be the left side! Ah! What do you mean by this? Miss Meanie, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat! Ah! Order! Order in the court! Order! 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 Ah! Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Eenie said the person who was driving was her older sister, Meanie. That is what Eenie said, yes, but that is where our story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like we finally found the real root of this murder. To connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Eenie or Mimi, who was really driving that night? The answer is the one person who had her driver's license. Mimi. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Miss Eenie Meanie, was the one in the driver's seat. Which leads us to the next question. The next question? Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? Ugh. What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix, right? The witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. The witness's real name is...
Take that!
Mimi. That is your real name.
Objection!
Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. For the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister. No! But Mimi, she died in the car accident. That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. And then the body they found at the crash site, that was the body of the real Mimi. Is that right, Miss Mimi? That car accident 1 year ago, the one who died that night was Eenie Meanie. Their sister Mimi then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Meanie from existence. Your Honor, sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? Ah! What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi was still, in fact, alive! And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted, so this witness had to stop that from happening, at all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes, before the channeling. Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Well, Miss Fucker, why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness? That's right, I admit it. My real name is Mimi. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi, too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself, to become your own sister? I think I understand why. Mimi wanted her old self to disappear because of this.
Take
that! That's about the malpractice, isn't it? Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi. That's right. The person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in that incident, and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all, the only way. She lost everything in the flames of that accident, her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past to start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only I hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo? Becoming Edie has been the worst horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult, I hate it! I hate it! I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as, why didn't Miss Meany choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me, Francisca von Karma! I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Good to see you. Ow! Ow! Oh! Ah! Ow! 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 And one more for good measure. Poor Phoenix! Man down! For Phoenix! Hey there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This court is a fraud! A sham! Now then, looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. I'll go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty! That is all. This court is adjourned. June 22nd, 3:13 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Congratulations, Maya. Sis! It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis! I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis? In my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. There's still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would happen if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi had planned to open the door to escape herself, and then you and Lotta would have witnessed by the scene. Possessed Maya Fay, who had just committed a murder. She had planned it down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya! Thanks! Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. I I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose something special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Hey, Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Nick, please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was... Early? 4 years from now, a new master will be born in Terrain Village, and that person will be you, Maya. But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear, and what would happen then? The Branch family. My aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearls. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. It was also that Pearls would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think that she was saying, I thought so. Date and time unknown. Detention Center, Solitary Confinement Cell 13. My precious Pearl, you are the only one suitable to be the master of Karain, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that wit-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying witless family, and main family girl, that Maya Fey. But I shall be patient, my dear Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. And with that, we have unlocked episode 3, Turnabout Big Top. And that will be where we continue the live stream tomorrow, because unfortunately, I don't have enough time to actually start this next part. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here by saying thank you all for watching, and as always, your host TheAmariaShadow saying along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!